So good morning to all our presence here. Today we are going to learn clustering topic. The clustering topic is concerned the CO4. So objective of this today class is introduction of clustering. So what is a clustering? What are the types of clustering? Main topic we have to learn K-means clustering algorithm. Another one is a hierarchical clustering types. So outcome of this courses, the students should be able to what is a clustering, what is a K-means clustering, how the K-means clustering algorithm works in the machine learning concept, then hierarchy clustering and its types. So summary and self assessment. Before you have to learn clustering concept, so we have already studied supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Supervised learning means discover the pattern in the data, but with the labeled data. Okay, later the data attributes with the target class. So the machine learn with the labeled data, but unsupervised learning means the data have no target attributes. We want to explore the data to find some structure in them. That is the difference between the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. The clustering concept comes under the unsupervised learning. So clustering comes under the unsupervised learning. It is what is a cluster? So cluster is collection of data based on the similarity. Collection of data based on the similarity. So find the similarity group in the data. So collection of data based on similarity. So other name is find the similarity group in data are called the cluster. So this cluster comes under unsupervised learning because no class values we have to define in the prior classing. Clustering considers a synonym with the unsupervised learning method. So here I given the example data set. Check it in the example. Here given in the 4 cluster. One is the birds, another is a fish, another is a mammals. So you have to find the similarity data and group it. That is a clustering concept. Example 1. Group of people of similar size together to make a small, medium and a large tea set. So this is example. Another in marketing, segment the customer according to the similarity. That is example 2. So the clustering is partition into 2 types, partition clustering and hierarchical clustering. So how the K-means clustering does algorithm with the help of similarity and dissimilarity functions using with the help of K-means Euclidean distance. This also you have to find the distance, interclass distance and the intraclass distance. So interclass distance called as a maximized, intraclass distance you have to calculate the minimized. The quality of clustering is depend on the algorithm, the distance function and the applications. So K-means clustering comes under the partition clustering. So you have set of points, you do say x1, x2, xn. This comes under vector, row vector and column vector. The K-means algorithm, each cluster, we have to find the each cluster has a cluster center called centroid. The K is specified by the user. So given the K-means algorithm, so suppose you have to give the cluster 3 or 4. So based on the data point, that is called a seed point, to initialize the centroid, the cluster center, randomly choose the data, that is called as a seed, to be initialized the centroid for the cluster center. Assign the each data point to the closed centroid with the help of Euclidean distance. So many distance we have the formula is there, you have to use the Euclidean distance formula. Recompute the centroid using current cluster membership. Then the cluster is suppose not means the step is repeat the process until the match the seed points and the matching the centroid point. So given I have given the algorithm here, choose the K data points, initialize centroid, repeat the process until the correctly the data is grouped in the cluster. Okay, otherwise recompute the centroid using the current cluster membership. So we have to use the another distance formula, value is sum of squared error. This example cluster value, random selection of K means. So cluster assign recompute the centroid functions. So iteration 2, this is output of the iteration 2. Third one is the iteration 3 output. Finally recompute the centroid. You have to get the correctly grouped the data in the clusters. So you have to use the k-means algorithm using the Euclidean space. This is a formula for Euclidean distance space. How to calculate the two data point, how to match with the similarity using the Euclidean distance space. So it can be used to cluster the large data set, but the disadvantage of the k-means clustering is not fit in the main memory. So large data set will take so much time in consume. So this is a disadvantage of the k-means clustering. Advantage of the k-means clustering is easy to understand and implement. More popular clustering algorithm. It terminates the local optimum, and the global optimum is hard to find due to the complexities. So disadvantage of k-means clustering algorithm is it's hard to find the outlier. So many outliers in the algorithm is there. So outlier data points that are very far away from the other data points. Otherwise outliers comes under the error in the data recording or some special data points in the very different values. So this is a disadvantage of the k-means clustering algorithm. So I have given the what is the outlier, how to remove the outlier I have given in the PPT. Look at the slide. The what is the last one is called as the outlier. So next finally we have to discuss about the hierarchical clustering. Hierarchical clustering is a tree, is a form a tree of cluster. Treating every point as a separate cluster. So tree of cluster is a hierarchical clustering. So identify the two clusters same means come close to together means combine the both the cluster, merge the two cluster. That is a hierarchical cluster. This is a main goal is grouping the cluster into a tree form. So identify the two clusters same is merge the two cluster. That is a hierarchical cluster. So look at the slide number. That is a hierarchical cluster. The cluster 1 and 2 are same similarity. So you merge the two clusters formed as a sixth cluster. This is also called as a tentogram. What are the types of hierarchical clustering? Acclometric clustering. Another one is a top-down clustering. Acclometric clustering comes from the bottom up. Divisive clustering is come to the top down. So here bottom up, merge the most similarity from the start from the bottom side. Okay, up to the stop. When will you stop? All the data points are merged into a single cluster. Divisive means top down clustering. You split the root into a set of child cluster. Each child cluster is recursively divided into the further. So when will you stop the cluster? Only singleton cluster of each individual data point will come means we stop the process. That is a acclometry means bottom up, divisive means top down clustering. I have given the points of acclometric clustering, most important common type of hierarchical clustering. The short form is AGNS, acclometric nestings. So given the example here, acclometric clustering means bottom approach. So find the similarity to cluster from the bottom and merge the two clusters. That is acclometric clustering. Another example given here, eagle peacock. Bottom, you check the bottom, eagle peacock. So merge, this is a bird. Lion, bear. This is what is similarity animals, mammals. Spider, scorpions, more than 3 legs. So you combined, finally you get the animals. Yeah, it's acclometric clustering. So acclometric clustering is another one example given here. So check it once. Divisive hierarchy clustering. Divisive hierarchy clustering is a opposite of hierarchy cluster, acclometric hierarchy clustering. All the data points are considered in the individual cluster. Each data points are considered as an individual cluster. In every iterations, the data points are not similar and separated from the cluster. Okay, the separate data points are treated as an individual cluster. Each data point is considered individual cluster. We are left with the n cluster, number of clusters. That is a concern the divisive hierarchy cluster. Divisive hierarchy cluster is the opposite of acclometric hierarchy clustering. So this is a top-down approach. Already I informed. This is a top-down approach. Acclometric clustering is a bottom-up approach. Okay. So given the word, what is the word A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H? So this is comes to top-down approach. Segregate. First divide into two types. One side right side is F, G, H. Another side is A, B, C, D, E. Then again is split FGS based on the some method rules. Okay, this is the difference between the agglomerate clustering and the divisive clustering. Yeah, look at the here. Given the word, how to form the word. Step 1 is A, B, C, D, E, F. Then segregate into B, C, D, E, F. A segregate. Then each word, each data points considered as a single cluster. Each word is considered as form a single cluster. That is a divisive clustering. So divisive clustering start with all the objects in the same cluster. It continues iteration. Cluster is split up into smaller cluster. It is down until each object in one cluster or the termination condition of hold. This method is rigid. Once a merging or splitting is done, it can never be undone. That is a divisive clustering. So application of the clustering means clustering used in many applications such as market research and pattern recognitions, data analysis and image process. So clustering main concept is find the similarity data object. So find the similarity data object. Group the object based on the similarity. Group the person based on similarity. Male, this is like male, this is a female. So clustering based on the collection of data based on the similarity. For example, male, this is male boys, this are girls. That is one, two cluster. So cluster is we have to cluster means create a cluster more than one. That is two cluster. They can characterize their customs group based on the purchasing pattern. This is one another example. So two types of clustering, sir. More important clustering is hierarchical clustering. Then hierarchical clustering is form a tree of cluster. So same cluster similar base, same to close means similarity based on close means merge the two cluster. Hierarchical clustering is different two types. Hierarchy two types, agglometric and a division clustering. Agglomeration bottom up approach. Divisive clustering is top down approach. Hierarchical agglometric clustering is divisive clustering means each data is considered as a cluster. So summary, I given summary. Clustering is a popular method for grouping object. So we have studied types of clustering, agglometric clustering, divisive clustering. Thank you.